Okay, welcome to video 4. This is on your independent contractors agreement. I've already logged into the getting started area. That was your video 1 showing you how to get here. Logging into the employee section, clicking on the getting started area. And then once you get here, what you're going to do is over on the right is you're going to click on independent contractors agreement. Then this is for all jobs or clients you work with over the year. This will cover everything. I'm going to open it up, and here it is. It's in text format, so anybody can open it up with any computer, and this way you can copy it and paste it and email it back to make it easy for you. Okay, so when we get here, you're going to see the form here, and I'm going to go over this with you real quick. Okay, as you can see, it's in text format, so you can copy it and you can email it back with your name in the subject line and the words "Accept IC Agreement." Okay, this is for 2014 appointment setters, the 4,000 a month to 2,000 a month part time. Okay, let's go through this real quick. Okay, so you'll put in the starting date. You'll type that in. You can type in your signature and type here to accept. Okay, so you won't have to worry about faxing it in or email. You can email this whole thing in. Okay, put your email address here for your paychecks, your PayPal account, your bank information, however you want to be paid. If you're a company, an EIN number, your phone number, and your email. This will also, be the information you did on the other video for payment request, but it'll match your independent contractor agreement. Okay, the independent contractor agreement, it'll average you about $4,000 per month full time. You can make more than that or less than that depending on how hard you work. Full time position is anywhere from 30 to 40 hours a week. And then the part time position is a minimum of 20 hours. If you're really good, you can do that in half the time because it's like booking 20 appointments a week. And this one is full time, is we're expecting 40 appointments per week. So it's 8 a day or 4 appointments a day, depending on your level. Okay. Put here your start date. May not be the same as the date you sign this agreement. Okay, so put the start date. This is a legally binding agreement between BizTenX LLC and Oregon LLC for appointmentsetters.org and yourself. And you have the legal stuff here. You have the ability and authority to execute this on your behalf. Let's go through this. Number one, you'll be responsible to ensure that all applicable laws and regulations are complied with. You don't break any laws. You don't lie. You don't scam. You're very honest and follow what we're doing. Okay. All the costs associated with setting appointments, including but not limited to phone costs, taxes, and internet service, those are your costs as an independent agent. You'll set appointments with prospective business owners or consumers. The business owners or consumer must be at the appointment time to be set by agent. If you're setting a phone appointment or an in-person appointment, you're only paid when that appointment's valid. We have received a couple unscrupulous, whatever, bad appointment setters that have made fake appointments, even with phone numbers that were disconnected. If we catch you making false appointments, you're going to be dismissed and forever, never be able to work with us again. And it's a waste of your time and our time because all appointments are phone verified. When you make an appointment, that's not the end of it. It goes to our client. Our client either phone verifies it or we may phone verify it. But that appointment will be phone verified before you ever get paid for it. So do not even think about sitting in fake appointments. It's a waste of everybody's time. Okay, and you're not going to get paid for it. You're not going to get paid for an appointment unless the appointment happens. That's why your paycheck, we'll go through the paycheck right down here. Anyway, the consumer or business owner must go through a complete presentation by the client's rep. The agent will be compensated regardless of the sale. It doesn't mean that if we're making an appointment for, let's say, a solar company and they don't buy, or whatever company, or they don't sign up, it doesn't matter. You're still going to get paid as long as that appointment was kept at the time you scheduled it and they went through the complete presentation. This isn't based on a per sale. This program here is based on you getting paid just because you set the appointment and got the rep in front of them. Okay? You'll be compensated via PayPal, check, or bank account deposit, bank transfer. Anyway, here's how it works. You'll be paid on Fridays for all appointment shows generated from the previous week's appointments. In other words, for an example, if you booked appointments that were showing up between February 3rd, 2014, and February 8th, 2014, you'd be paid the next Friday on February 14th. We're paid for the appointments by the client. We cannot pay you and will not pay you for any appointment that was no good or invalid. You will not be paid for it. It's got to be a valid appointment. Only appointments for whatever reason that we are paid for is what you're paid for. If we are not paid for an appointment for any reason, then we will not pay you for that appointment. The appointment's got to be valid, and we must be paid for that appointment, be paid by the client. Okay? Only valid appointments we paid for. That's what I just said. All appointments are phone verified before the appointment. If the business owner or consumer fails to verify and accept appointments you set, you will not be paid. If our clients cannot reach the clients to verify appointment, then no appointment will happen. We've had bad phone numbers that people give us that anyway, if the appointment doesn't happen, you're not going to get paid because we're not going to get paid. Agent will only receive payments for valid appointments. Okay, so make sure they're valid appointments. Do a good job with your customer, and you make good money. Okay. Okay, again, appointmentsetters.org cannot pay for appointments that we are not paid for. So if we're not paid for it, you won't be paid for it. We sign agreements with our companies, the clients, to pay us for every appointment that's valid. Okay. Either party can cancel this agreement at any time. However, BizTax we agree to pay the agent for all booked for a period of 30 days after cancellation of the appointment. In other words, we can cancel this agreement at any time for any reason. This is a right to work agreement. For any reason we decide that you're not doing your job, or you have caused problems or issues with the company, we can cancel you. The same you can do to us. If you feel that we're not doing a good job for you, you can cancel us and find yourself another job somewhere else. Anyway, either one of us can cancel this contract at any time for any reason. Okay, and okay, now let's go further down. The 4,000 to 2,000 a month. Here's how it works. Full-time position equals a minimum appointments to be set per day is 8. Okay, we pay you $200 a day for 8 appointments. Okay, that's $4,000 a month, working 5 days a week. We really don't care if it takes you 6 hours or 4 hours or 2 hours. If you set those 8, you're going to get paid as a full-time person. Okay. If you can set them in 3 hours, great. Go to the beach for 5 hours and make yourself $1,000 a week. If you're really good, you can do that. If average, set one appointment an hour, you work 8 hours, you make $1,000 a week. Taxes are not withheld. That's we'll 1099 you on that later. Anyway, part-time position, 4 appointments a day. Okay, that's $100 per day. Okay, so you could do that in 2 hours a day. You could do it in 3 hours. You could do it in 1 hour. It depends on you. And if it takes you 6 hours, it's still part-time. But 4 a day is $100 per day. And anyway, and if you get up to 7, that's fine. It's still part-time, but you still get paid per appointment. Less than 4 appointments per day is paid at $19 per appointment. 4 valid appointments and above per day equals $6 bonus per valid appointment. That's almost a 30-some% bonus. Okay, so $19 what we pay per appointment. You get 4 valid appointments per day. You get a $6 bonus for each and every one of those appointments. So you make $25 per appointment. Since appointmentsetters.org is compensated only by each valid appointment you set, your $4,000 payroll is based on 8 valid appointments set per day. That's 40 per week. Okay, for 4 weeks. So that's how it comes out to $4,000 per month. It's 5 days a week. You set 8 appointments a day. You're making $4,000 a month. The part-time position is based on 4 valid appointments set per day, 20 per week for 4 weeks, and that comes out to $2,000 a month. Okay, minimum appointments to be set per week is 40 for full-time position. Minimum appointments to be set for part-time is 20 appointments per week. Again, this is a right-to-work agreement. It is an independent contractor agreement. As such, no taxes are withheld and are the responsibility of each agent. Okay, so sometimes you ask for 1099. That's at the end of the year. You will be receive that form for the amount of money you've made for you to file your taxes. If no appointments are set within 48 hours after your start date that you've agreed to start, and after you received your password and username and your exclusive database of leads, then your database may be provided to another appointment setter and your position may be canceled. You'll not be able to reapply for 6 months to work with appointmentsetters.org. If any fake appointments are turned in, you'll be dismissed with no rehire acceptable. So the bottom line is, you agree to come on board. We give you a database. You don't get started for any reason. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've heard that somebody died, somebody's in the hospital. I mean, anyway, we're here to run a business, I apologize. I don't mean anything bad about dying. My mother and my father both passed away in the last year and a half, so I can understand that. If that really is the case, then we're sorry, and we'll work with you on that. But other excuses, and we're just tired of excuses. If no appointments are set within 48 hours after your start date, pretty much your position will be canceled, and your database will be given to somebody else, and your passwords changed. Okay. You'll not be able to reapply for 6 months to work with us if you do not start and do your position. Okay. Hours of calling are generally between 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. for the area code called. If we're working with a California database, then remember there's a 3-hour difference from the East Coast or so. So the bottom line is, for instance, we have a client right now in California that we need to dial 80,000 numbers. It's a great client. It's a big job, and but you can get double the appointments if you call during 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. California time, because it's business to consumer. Business to consumer is a lot different than business to business. Of course, your business to business is going to be from 8 to 5 usually, um, in the time zone that phone number exists that you're calling. And the business to consumer, your best is going to be 4 p.m. To 8 p.m. Okay? And anyway, so let's go on. Appointment times to set appointments for sales reps to visit appointments are different, per client. Agent must keep okay. We ask you to keep a hard copy of all appointments that you make as a backup to the online system of appointments made. For instance, if you make 4 appointments, it does not take you long to hand write down the name of the person, the phone number, and the appointment time. Have a piece of paper next to your phone. Okay. Okay. Again, I mentioned the hard copy. A spreadsheet will be provided to you each Friday with your paycheck showing all the appointments set, um, and which ones were confirmed. And also, if there's a double booking, you may have to reschedule the appointment. That might happen a few times with a brand new program. Once the new client is getting used to our appointments and how fast they're coming in. Okay. Again, all appointments will be confirmed by the clients before the appointment date. The appointment should be set no more than 5 days out. In other words, if it's a Monday, you shouldn't set appointments past Friday. If it's a Friday, of course, you're gonna probably have to set appointments on, Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. But the sooner the appointment is set, the better chances you have of it being a good appointment. Do not set appointments 2 weeks out; those never work. So really, don't try to go out more than 5 days, and preferably within 2 or 3 days. Do not set any appointments for the exact same day; those are too quick to turn around. We can't get them to the client, so it has to be at least the next day. And okay, and you're supposed to send your appointments, type them up and email them to your agent each night. Your coach, Lee, your manager. Send him and tell him how many appointments you made for the day. He'll be watching for that email. Okay. Anyway, it's your appointment. It's your responsibility to notify your manager. Actually, it wouldn't be CEO. You should contact your manager, and your manager right now would be Lee at appointmentsetters.org. Okay, that's who you would contact if you run out of leads. So appointmentsetters.org is what you do. Okay, so email Lee when you need new database. Okay, well, when booking appointment, agents will insert their first and last name as the agent make an appointment. I showed you that on the other video. Agents agree that they will accept you'll not accept work directly from a client that you're working with for 36 months. In other words, if you're working for one of our clients, you cannot be hired direct with that client unless it's approved by us in writing. Um, we're setting appointments for many assorted companies right now, and this contract will cover any and all different companies we work with. Okay, this is a master independent contractor agreement to cover all projects. Okay, the again, your coach and manager is Lee Windsor at extension 2. Dial 1-844-9109 extension 2 about any work issues you have, because I'm busy creating new programs for us to make more money. And so Lee will be helping you get your job done and do your appointment setting. And if there's an emergency and you're not able to reach your manager for 24 hours, then you can contact me on my cell phone at 971-312-1060. I'll be happy to help you. And that's after you may not have reached your coach within 24 hours. Okay? We are the largest USA network of appointment centers. We have over 5,000 appointment centers right now in over 1,400 cities. Okay, then once again, do not make false appointments. Of course, that's a dismissal immediately. And I'm going to show you exactly how we track your appointments online for 1 second here. So hold 1 second. Okay, in the back admin section of our company, this isn't a place where you'll be going, it's a place where we go. And when we assign databases, they start with zeros here, and these each go to an individual's database. And what will happen is these numbers will change as appointments are set. That's how we can see it in a couple of minutes. What's been done with each database, and that's how we can manage, a lot of people. So what we do is once these ones have not been assigned yet, we're going to be assigning these. Now I'll show you what we do. Okay, you see on different databases that they've been assigned, the numbers change. That tells us how many appointments is in that database, and whatever the name is here, that's the one that relates back to you. We know who that person is, and then so the numbers change. We know who's not working, and we know who is working, and then we'll figure out who this person is. We'll contact them and find out why there's 0 appointments, and then we'll work with that person, and we'll either reassign that database to a new employee, and we can see what the averages are as appointments come in. The appointments up here, we haven't assigned a lot of these databases yet, but you can see the different ones that are coming in, 8 or 6. We know how many appointments are made, and then we also can run a quick report. So when we want a quick report, we'll just put in a start date and end date. We'll click all appointments, and then we'll search the leads. And then what this will do is it'll give us all the appointments, and then we'll know who those appointments were made by, and which all the different appointments will pop up, and we'll know the different appointments. Click on open it up, and we have a report of every appointment that was made. 1 second, let this open. Okay, so we run the appointment report. We export it CSV, and there goes the username. This tells us that it belongs to that agent. These are different agent IDs that logged in, and that's how we pay. And then we come over here, and there's the appointment date, appointment time, etc. Okay, and so anyway, that's the end of that. So I'll end this once again. Remember, you've logged into the employee login sections. You clicked on getting started, and then you came down here, and then you found the 2014 independent contractor agreement, and you've clicked on it. And I went over the whole agreement so you understand it.